Welcome to MS Company's Inspector Level 1 training. MS Companies prides itself on our world-class services that we deliver to our customers. We are an ISO certified company. ISO certification requires us to meet the needs of our customers in the areas of quality management. We obtain and maintain our ISO certification by saying what we do and doing what we say. A big part of making sure that we deliver the highest level of quality to our customers starts with you. MS Companies also prides itself in bringing value to our client by hiring skilled workers who are also willing to learn new skills. Within this short course, you'll be able to explain the meaning and value of using our 5-star training and advancement program, define common job-related and inspection vocabulary, describe safety measures expected of MS employees, and identify the paperwork used on the job. In order for MS Companies to provide our customers with quality inspections, we must prepare our inspectors with proper training. The inspection training program ranges from simple visual inspections to more complicated measuring inspections. This training is referred to as our 5-star system. This 5-star system enables a trainee to advance through our company and earn increases in pay. The first star represents the Level 1 inspector. Level 1 inspectors perform entry-level work. You will work with a Level 2 or 3 inspector. The second star represents the Level 2 inspector. To reach this level, you must have worked 60 to 90 days at Level 1. You will need to have had on-the-job training and completed relevant online training courses. This is a more independent level, and it is supervised by a 3-star level inspector or higher. The third star represents the Level 3 inspector. To obtain this level, you must be highly qualified, actively worked more than 520 hours in the past 6 to 9 months, and completed additional online training. At this level, you will be able to train Level 1 and Level 2 inspectors. The fourth star represents the team lead. At this level, the inspector has performed inspections over 180 days, must have passed a number of audits, received a supervisor review, and can write work instructions. This is a completely independent level, and you are a team leader. The fifth star represents supervisor. You must have successfully completed Level 4 training, actively worked more than 500 hours on the job, received a supervisor review, and meet appropriate guidelines established by MS Companies before becoming a supervisor. Keep in mind, the more you learn, the more you earn. Remember, a big part of making sure that we deliver the highest level of quality to our customers starts with you. MS prides itself in bringing value to our client by hiring skilled workers who are also willing to learn new skills. In order to advance through the star levels as an inspector with MS Companies, you must A. Complete additional online training, B. Complete a specified number of active hours on the job, C. Meet appropriate guidelines established by MS Companies, or D. All of the above. Inspector Level 1 Vocabulary. Please click one word at a time to reveal the definition. Each one must be clicked on before going to the next chapter. These are common inspection vocabulary terms you will hear on any MS job. Good parts. Parts that are deemed acceptable for use. Defect. There is a fault or imperfection in a part. Nonconformance, also referred to as customer nonconforming material or CNCM. Nonconforming parts have defects that are deemed unusable. Data, facts or figures pertaining to the job, part, or with the product. Work instructions, details the processes to make sure the parts being inspected are compliant. Shift, refers to a scheduled work time, first, second, and third shift. Hours may vary by customer, but generally first shift is in the morning to the afternoon, second shift is afternoon hours, and third shift is late evening to early morning. Part quality, defines the status of a part as either good or bad. Quality alerts, notification issued when a defect is found with a part by the supplier or customer. Containment, mandatory or self-induced control in the supply chain by isolating or containing specific parts. Short shot, missing parts or pieces to a part. Witness marks, tags, and labels. Various methods to show that parts have been inspected. Boundary sample. Good and bad part examples used as guidelines to represent acceptable parts or show the defect. Returns. Part sent back, often a bad part or a suspect part. Rework. Physically changing a part from bad to good. Flash. Excess material on a part. Touch points. Areas on a part that need to be inspected. Defects, CNCM, and non-conforming are terms for good parts. True or false. Boundary samples are examples of A, good parts, B, bad parts, or C, both good and bad parts. Which of the following are used to visually indicate that you have inspected a part? A, witness marks, B, escapes, or C, Tier 1? Inspector Level 1, Safety and PPE. At MS companies, there will be a need to wear PPE or personal protective equipment. PPE is used in a wide variety of applications and can be grouped under the following headings. Click each category to learn more. Eye and face protection, head protection, respiratory protection, hearing protection, protective clothing. Eye and face protection. When and why is eye and face protection worn? Eye and face protection is worn to help prevent flash burns to the eyes when using welding equipment, burns to the eyes and face from working on hot or molten metals, chemical or steam burns to the eyes and face, light burns from using laser equipment, and general protection from cuts and scratches when drilling, hammering, chipping, or sawing. Head protection. When and why is head protection worn? Caps and hairnets are worn to protect against scalping and entanglement when working around moving equipment. Bump caps can offer protection from striking fixed objects. Safety helmets or hard hats offer protection when working in areas with a possibility of falling objects. Of note, employees with long hair should wear their hair up or contained so as not to create a safety hazard around machinery. Respirator protection. Respirator protection may be required depending on the job. If it's determined that a respirator is necessary, employees will receive additional training on the proper equipment, techniques, and procedures. Hearing protection. Hearing protection is worn because the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, governs the amount of noise exposure permitted in the workplace. The facility you'll be working in may or may not require you to wear hearing protection. MS companies will provide earplugs to our employees. Some of our customers may require additional hearing protection, which will be supplied on the job site. Protective clothing. Protective clothing such as gloves, steel-toed boots, and Kevlar sleeves are worn to protect from the elements such as sharp edges, thermal and chemical burns, hazardous substances, crushing and impact injuries, puncture wounds, electrical shock, or chemical burns or poisoning. The following are examples of PPE. A. Gloves, B. Hard hats, C. Steel-toed boots, or D. All of the above. Safety shoes can prevent puncture injuries to the foot. True or false? Inspector Level 1 paperwork. MS Company's daily paperwork. The following will provide a brief overview of the paperwork required for employees of MS Companies. Your supervisor will explain the paperwork process in more detail when you arrive on the job site. Work instructions. The work instructions provide the inspector with all the details required to perform the inspection job. Everything from which parts are being inspected and what you should be looking for, to the PPE required and who is paying for the work to be done. Your supervisor will also advise you of any additional information on the job site. On-site logs. This is an example of the MS Company's on-site employee log. Think of this as an attendance sheet for the job site. The log helps supervisors perform audits or is used if something happens. For example, during a fire or tornado drill, the supervisor can look at the log to know who is in the plant and how to find them if needed. Employee timesheet. The employee timesheet is submitted to payroll in order for you to be paid. Please make sure to write legibly and use the same name as on your check, no nicknames. You will also be required to write the last 4 digits of your Social Security number and travel time. You will also need to clock in and out for your lunch break. MS Company's employees will typically take a lunch break at the same time as the customer that we are working for. Data sheet. The data sheet provides the details of the work you are performing. It provides total parts inspected and the status of those parts, such as good, bad, or reworked. Job completion form. This form is completed by the office or the on-site location supervisor to close out the project whenever a project ends. Material usage report. This report enables MS Companies to account for and bill the customer for specific items used on a case. For example, markers and tape that cannot be reused on a different sort need to be listed. MS Company's tagging system. Red, non-conforming material tags will be used to mark bad parts. Yellow hold tags will explain any issues you are sorting that part for, such as being good or bad. Green sorted product tags will be used to mark good parts, along with the initials of whom inspected it. Which of the following provides the inspector with all of the details required of them to perform the job? A. Material usage report, B. Data sheet, or C. Work instructions. Which of the following statements is true? A. Lunch breaks are always 30 minutes, or B. MS employees will typically take the same lunch break as the customer that we are working for. Congratulations on completing the Inspector Level 1 course. You are now on your way to becoming an MS Star. A representative from MS Companies will be in touch with you shortly.